Wow. Dot dot dot. Wow. 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 Period. Holy shit. Yawn. Welcome to Fight Post, a video series that happens after every UFC event where I, Flying Brian J, use your social media posts from around a variety of different social media outlets to break down or recap every UFC event. Without further ado, let's get it on! The first fight of the night took place early and on UFC Fight Pass because this card was being broadcast from Dublin, Ireland, to which, why did I delete my account on Reddit, said, guys, it's 2:44 a.m. and the card is just starting? Am I really about to stay up all night for this shitty card? Hell yeah, I am. The fight card for me started at about noon, to which Dean Honeybadger was pretty excited, saying, UFC Dublin, because I need a reason to bust out the whiskey at 11 a.m. Speaking of drinking, early on in the night, Ronaldo C at White Vado said, I hope Houlihan loses so I can drink the tears of Ireland. I mean, is it as good as whiskey? Is it as good as that fine whiskey? We don't know. So while Dean Honeybadger was busy getting drunk on some whiskey at 11 a.m., middleweights Gareth McClellan and Bubba Bush were going at it, and McClellan finished Bubba Bush late in the third round, to which Stone Rogan said, could have stopped it sooner and still been fair. Great beard, too. McClellan has a sweet beard going down. The next fight was a featherweight fight between Darren Elkins and Robert Whiteford. Darren Elkins did what Darren Elkins usually does. Dan Crace described this fight as being a movie called Darren Elkins starring in Ernest Goes to the Judges, hashtag UFC. Third fight of the night featured one of everybody's favorite fighter, Cathal Pendred, against Tom Breeze in the welterweight division. A lot of people were really excited to see Cathal Pendred fight again. At Red Sox Poet said, Pendred is fighting? Time to take my afternoon nap, hashtag UFC Dublin. And while I'm not sure if he took a nap or not, Cathal Pendred got TKO'd at 4 minutes and 37 seconds of the very first round. David Hollywood and Alpha Moore both had some strong words to say about Cathal Pendred getting knocked out. Alpha Moore saying, Pendred just got knocked the fuck out. Woo! David Hollywood said, holy fuck, that was brutal. Joe Money at Joe Money 13 said, breezy like Sunday morning. After Cathal Pendred got knocked out, we went to a middleweight fight between Krzysztof Jotko and Scott Askham. It went to a split decision, and I saw scores on both sides. The fake Brock Delaney said, unbiased opinion, Jotko won. And Andrew O'Donnell did not agree with that, saying, I had Jotko losing every round. Not sure what the judges saw. Hashtag UFC Dublin. When it was time for the women's strawweight fight between Aisling Daly and Erica Almeida, UFC lightweight competitor Cajun Johnson was impressed with how loud the crowd was, saying, holy shit, that crowd is loud. Aisling Daly ended up beating Erica Almeida by a unanimous decision, 30-27, 29-28, and 29-27. Talk MMA, hashtag Colts Nation, was not impressed. Neither of these two can beat Joanna MMA, Jedrzejczyk Jacek, hashtag UFC Dublin. Well, that might be true, but Aisling Daly sure did get the victory and she looks good while winning. Moving on, we had the featured prelim that Nathan McCarter and the MMA Andy blog were not impressed with it. The featured prelim brought us all back down after Daly's fight, Nathan McCarter said. And Andy, at MMA Andy, said 30-27, very uneventful fight. My prediction didn't hold true. Hashtag UFC Dublin. At S. Rondina, Steve Rondina, said the French dude lost le bout. Hashtag UFC Dublin. The Yellow Power Ranger wanted to make a drinking game out of the first fight of the main card, saying, "Don't forget to take a shot every time someone mentions blue collar when describing Siri. Hashtag UFC Dublin." Speaking of going to the main card, prior to that, at D Madden MMA, Dave Madden said that switching links on Fight Pass from prelims to main card is like leaving Safeway, then going right back in because you wanted Starbucks. Hashtag UFC Dublin. Neil Siri ended up beating John De Los Reyes with a submission choke late in the second round. And a lot of Irish people were pretty excited. At Craig O59 said, "Yes! Neil Siri! MMA!" Like 6 4-leaf clovers. At Secret Moves MMA. Oh, I hope Justin Go Lightly would let us know about those secret moves. He said, "I love every fucking thing about what just happened. Hashtag UFC Dublin." And the self-proclaimed best fucking person on Twitter, Susie Koozie, said Conor McGregor is awfully proud of Conor Neil Siri McGregor for finishing De Los Reyes via Conor McGregor choke at 4:12 of the McGregor round. Next, we had a welterweight fight between Darren Till and Nicholas Dalby. It ended up in a majority draw. Rockstarzy, at Rockstarzy on Twitter, said, "At Best Fight Picks, someone's O has got to go." Huh. I guess not. LOL. Ha. In that fight, we saw Till win the first 2 rounds and then get 10-8'd by Dalby in the third. The co-main event of the evening was Norman Park versus Reza Madadi. Prior to this fight, a lot of people were having a lot of fun with Reza Madadi stealing purses and spending some time in jail for it. The Spartan, at Elias Theodoro, UFC middleweight. The Spartan here giving out the Louis Vuitton Award for my Fight of the Night choice in hashtag UFC Dublin, hashtag purse throwing, poking some fun at Madadi. At EZ Adams Comic, Edward Z. Adams said, asterisk, joke about Madadi trying to win the purse, asterisk, hashtag UFC Dublin. We know that at Best Fight Picks was excited when Norman Park versus Reza Madadi got to the co-main event of the evening because earlier on in the night he had said, "Be honest, you're pumped to see this Norman Park fight later." Park beat Reza Madadi 30-27 unanimous decision. And at Joe Jaggy said Park gets his win bonus, but if he wants to keep his purse, he'll have to watch out for Reza in the parking lot. Hashtag UFC Dublin. As we move on to the main event of the evening, at Power Double, the Power Double said, controversial opinion, I don't think Smolka is actually the last samurai. I'm not even sure he's a samurai at all. So while he was skeptical, Kevin Hinch was hoping for a Houlihan win, saying, let's hope Houlihan does the job tonight and has Dublin rockin'. Akilo Light Thomas on Facebook said, oh hey, the great value version of McGregor vs. Aldo at 8 likes. Way to go, Akilo. In the main event of the evening, flyweight fight between Louis Smolka and Paddy Houlihan. Louis Smolka ended up finishing Paddy Houlihan with a rear naked choke at 4:09 of round number 2. And at MMA Comic summed up the fight for us. Paddy Hula Hoop got smished. Hashtag UFC Dublin. At the end of the fight card, I asked all of my Twitter followers, all of you guys, how you would grade the event, A to B or C to D, and C to D won with a 17-13 vote out of 30, of course, those two added together. If you want to increase your chances of having your tweet featured on Fight Post with Flying Brian, use the hashtag Fight Post and also the hashtag that is going with each UFC event, such as hashtag UFC Dublin. That's all I got for you today. Tell me if I missed your post in the comment section down below. Tell me if you like this show in the comment section down below. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and also the thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys after the next UFC event. Wow, 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 holy shit.